Yeah. So yes, when we would like when we are teaching about emotions to children, yes, story there are stories to teach emotions. There are board games, even board games to teach emotions. There are role plays to teach emotions. There is theater to teach emotions. But most importantly, the major impact is actually coming from the way the parent is handling their emotions. The way when the parent is bombarded with 10 other needs of the family, and how the parent is responding to the child, that is what is emotional intelligence, or teaching of emotions. That is what is passing down to the child. Do you agree with this? More than stories, more than games, more than board, again, all these board games, role plays, theater plays, all of this, the true emotional transfer or emotional intelligence, or the teaching of emotions is actually happening when the child is watching the parent handle his or her own emotions. Yes, thank you very much for your response. Thank you, Chaitanya. So when the parent is being bombarded by 20 other requests, or maybe when the parent was, sometimes it also happens that some other person is talking in a certain way to the parent, and the parent is not pleased, he or she or you do not approve of how the person is talking to you or talking about you. So how do you respond at that point of time? Yes, how do you respond? It is not about giving a back answer. It is not about stopping yourself, staying muted. There is a whole lot of stuff that goes inside of it. The child is not just seeing whether you are back answering or whether you are stopping. Even if you are stopping, you are suppressing your unresolved emotions, and that does more damage than good. So yeah, so the way the parent is dealing all of this is what is passing down to the child in the terminology of emotional intelligence, and that is what will either make or break every other aspect in one's life, right? Because everything actually boils down to what is the energy that you are carrying inside, and that is the emotion. How are you inside? Yes, are you high, are you low, are you feeling dull, are you feeling excited, are you feeling happy, and all of that. So yes, and then thank you Smita, thank you Chaitanya. And yes, who's in control? Yes, you are the control, obviously, but we went a little deeper into, I mean, my child is doing that. How can I not feel angry about it? How do you actually tackle this? Yes, we spoke about it. And then, yes, there are various emotions we try to understand. And then, child specific, I told you, like, yeah, the point is this: however, you are as an individual, that is what is passing down as a parent. So, that is what the child is learning, and that is a reflection here. And again, all these are big words: acceptance, prerequisite for acceptance. So the main reason why I have come for this review session is emotions itself is a very broad topic, and I touched upon various other terms which may require more time to actually understand and see how we can implement in our life. For example, accepting a child is acceptance is just the opposite of judgment. Oh my god, you've again turned on the TV. Oh my god, I told you so many times you shouldn't be doing this, and you still do that. Acceptance is opposite of this. And when can you start? And the more and more you are accepting your child, the more the child's confidence level depends on how accepted the child is by the family members. The confidence level of the child, the self-esteem of the child, depends on how accepted the child feels by the immediate family members. So what can you do if you have to accept a child? I mean, I also get questions that how can it ever happen that I am not angry when this is happening? How can it ever happen that I should not be yelling, or I should not be having this kind of negative reaction when this is happening? But prerequisite for acceptance is forgiveness. So again, all these years you have been carrying some kind of hurts, and there are a lot of things that happen, and that is what I cover even in the wounded inner child. That is the next section. So as long as you are carrying those hurts, there are blocks inside of you. They show up in the way you are not able to accept people just as how they are. Only when you eat your meal, finish your meal, maybe I'm happy, or maybe the child is kind of coming to you and cuddling with you, but you were very angry. Uh, I mean, everything went. I can't say wrong or bad, but everything went not according to your expectation on that day. So you're just getting irritated at all of that. That is the opposite of acceptance. You're not accepting the child just as how the child is, and that is when the child's self-esteem is again affected. The confidence level is affected. So this boils down to how forgiving you are, not just the child. Again, this is not person specific that only if I forgive this person I can accept this person. No, it's not about that. It is about you've been carrying many hurts all these years and you have to work on them. That is when you start to accept other people just as how they are. Maybe your adults, your elders, elderly people at home, and your child, and whatever it is, whatever they are saying, how can your emotions stay balanced or stable in all that is happening? Yes, true, Suma. The next point is this: you have to forgive yourself. So, as a part of review session, I think I went deep into what happened last week. So, this is what I wanted to bring up. That let me just share my screen here at this point of time. So, we have to. So, when I'm speaking about forgiveness, when I'm speaking about acceptance, it starts with the parent. It starts with you, right? Sharing my screen. Just allow me the permission. Yeah. So let me just type out as review. Yeah. So first thing is this. Let me put it this way. Just yesterday I spoke about this, that there are certain low emotions, for example anger, which we've been trained to have this belief that we should not become angry. If you become angry, it's wrong, it's bad. And the same thing is what you may be telling to your child that you shouldn't get angry, becoming angry is bad, becoming angry is wrong. But when you are in that belief that anger is bad and you get angry because of something that has happened, it made you angry, yes, and you are with that belief you are blaming yourself that you are doing something wrong, right? So just an example is anger, as an example. Okay, I hope you're able to see my screen here. So what do? Something does not go in the expected way, and then you beat yourself up, right? Like, oh my god, I shouldn't get angry, and again I'm getting angry, and again I'm feeling angry, and all of that stuff, right? So what does this do? This adds to your guilt. You are feeling guilt inside of you. Yes, so already anger was a low vibrating emotion, and to that you are adding another low vibrating emotion, that is guilt. Yes, so it doesn't do good, it doesn't do much good. So when you are doing this, that means what? You are not accepting yourself, and more worse, you are blaming yourself. Yeah, guilt is nothing but blaming yourself, right? So this, again, staying in this zone does not help you to learn something, to do something new, or to try and test out something new, or to work on yourself. Staying in the low vibrating emotions, in the low vibrating zone, doesn't help you to work on yourself. Yes, so what? Yeah, so the very good point that Suma has brought up is to forgive your child, to accept your child. The first prerequisite is you have to accept yourself just as how you are. Like you are angry, you're getting angry, just accept that you are angry. Yes, I was angry. Okay, what happened? And then what was the trigger? And trigger, usually people see it is an external trigger. Yes, my child did something, and then coming from external, it's an external trigger. But what I say is, along with the external trigger, there was also an internal trigger inside of you. Yes, what is that internal trigger? So all this kind of introspection can happen only when you accept yourself. Yes, I'm angry, let me just accept myself. Yes, I shouted, let me accept my shout or my yelp, however I am. Because when you're not accepting yourself, when you're judging yourself, you're blaming yourself, you're adding guilt on it, and it doesn't do much good. It doesn't make you work on yourself. It does not give you that strength to work on yourself. It does not give you the courage to work on yourself. If you are with me until now, just type out WY in the chat box. WY is with you. If you are with me until now, just type out WY in the chat box. Yes, thank you very much for your responses. And yeah, let me go back. So there is this line which I have learned and which I've also noticed and which I'll try to implement is, you can only love a person, you can love a person only so much that you can love yourself. So if your cup is filled with love, only then can you uh, give out love or pour out love to your child. If your cup is filled with blame, if your cup is filled with guilt, if your cup is filled with low vibrating emotions, that is what is coming from that cup. When you're speaking to your child, even though you're speaking pleasantly, your child can see through the intention that things are not going well, and that is the reason my parent has an maybe irritating face or some disappointment in the face. Yes, so towards the end of the day, when something has happened, so yeah, love you can give, let me just finish this, only so much that you have. And let me tell you, you have infinite love. All these spiritual gurus who speak that you have infinite love, you have infinite bliss, you have infinite happiness, all that exists. But you do not realize that because there are certain blocks, there are certain hurts that you have been carrying all these years, and I'll go in detail in all of these in the upcoming sessions. I don't want to bombard you on the same day, but yeah, the point is this. Yes, so now towards the end of the day, you know that okay, these things are not working, and I shouldn't be doing that thing. But just before sleeping, again, what does a monkey mind do? It kind of reminds you what went wrong on that day. It kind of reminds you, you didn't want to yell today, but again you yelled. You went through so many tantrums today and still you couldn't resolve that, or maybe you tried so much but still things didn't work out or something like that. So when you are reaffirming yourself with guilt, with blame, right? And that, according to law of attraction, what happens? Whatever is there inside, we will continue to attract that again, right? So frequency at which you are vibrating, the guilt frequency, the blame frequency, is what is you will get back again. So again a tantrum happens, again you try to resolve something in such a way that you attract feeling guilty about it, or you attract blaming yourself about it. So how many of you are actually interested to learn about all these emotions and frequencies of these emotions, how you can be at a high vibrating emotion and how you are unknowingly going towards a low vibrating emotion? If you are interested, just type out I in the chat box. I have made I think a 27-minute video on that, and I'm going to share the link. But if you are interested, if you're not interested, I need not share the link, right? So if you're interested, just type out I. Yes, thank you very much. And it hit a chord with many people out there, not just parents. See, all these principles which we are speaking, they're principles, they're not tips or tricks or techniques to get things done by your child, which I do not believe. Yes, parenting techniques do not work, parenting advices do not work. There are certain principles by which you have to live your life by, and that is what will bring difference in your life and eventually the way you are raising your child. So I'll just be sharing. Yeah, and before that, yeah, I'll be sharing the link in now. So, and then what else is my question was, anybody who wants to share, or anybody who wants to ask any question right now, you can please ask your question, and then I'll be sharing some useful resources, and I also have a long a 7-day plan for you. So if you are interested to get on a journey of 7 days to understand every aspect of this emotion, then again I will open up what is it that I've planned for you, and see if again you are interested in that. So any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah, I think there are no questions, so you're all experts, and yeah, we are all experts in a way. All of us are continuously work in progress projects in this life. So I'll just take you to one section of this. You can go over the entire video. I'm not going to go over the entire video now, but I'll just explain this. Yeah, not a deep explanation, but I'll just. So all these are various frequencies of emotions. Again, emotion is energy. So what energy you are vibrating at is what is you will attract. So how to calm child's tantrums, how to love child, and frequency. How does frequency, how you are, bringing awareness in what frequency you are operating from is very important when you are resolving your child. When you are operating from, again, guilt, that the child is going through tantrum, but maybe you are surrounded by adults who may blame you for your child doing whatever your child is doing. Just a second. Yes. Yes, so you are in that impression that the other people maybe feeding your child, the child is not finishing the meal, and you are in the impression that now that person is going to blame me now. Yes, so you are in vibrating at that blame frequency, or guilt, or shame, actually shame, that you will be shamed, you will be blamed, you will be labeled and all. So, and what you are doing to your child will actually come from this frequency, what you are saying to your child and what you are doing to your child. Yes, this is a very deep, again, a very deep concept, and I've tried to cover most of things in this video, but still there needs to be work. Yes, thank you, Smita. Thank you for your sharing and for your honesty. Yes, this video will definitely help you, and yes, and we'll move ahead. I'll just give you the link here, and I'll make sure I'll also give this in the group, in the WhatsApp group there. So you can just save this video in your playlist now so that it doesn't get lost when we end the call. And then I'm going to explain to you what is the plan ahead. You can just have a couple of minutes to bookmark the video, or save the video, or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, again, each of these things needs a deeper introspection, and it is like working on yourself. It's not something that you are doing because you are a parent. It is not something that you are doing for your child. Yes, all these things, working on yourself. Actually, I have an inner circle community in which working self-work or working on yourself is a default thing that needs to happen on an everyday basis. That is how I am trying to support the parents who are in my community. So we have certain principles, we have certain code of honor. So we again, whatever we are doing, they have to fall in that code of honor. For example, respect is one of the codes of honors. So just before doing something, or just before saying something to your child in the context of parenting, so if you have a set of principles in your mind, yes, so does what I'm saying to my child, does it fall in this code of honor? For example, accept is one of the codes of honor. Does what I'm saying to my child, does this fall in my set of values, in my codes of honor? Yes, it's a reality check for you. You are becoming aware. If you do not have this, then by default, whatever is happening, however your monkey mind is triggering you to do, you will just go ahead and do that. And we all know that we are not happy with that outcome, right? Agree with me? If you agree with me, just type out AG in the chat box. Your monkey mind asks you to, or pushes you to yell, to blame, to complain, to judge, to give you excuses and blames. And you're not happy. Yes, thank you for your response. We are not happy with that. Whatever is happening, we are not happy with that. Yes, yelling happens as a last resort, but 100% of parents who yell at their child are not happy after doing that. Yes, thank you very much for your responses. So again, getting back, so yeah, that is one video which I would like to share. And coming to the next step forward, so I have a set of again, a series of 7 classes which I've planned for you people. So if you wish to get into a deeper journey with me, along with me in this journey of understanding your emotions and healing your emotions, and then becoming aware of how you can be with your child. So if you can give me the permission to just share a bit about what you can get in those 7 days, just type out PG in the chat box. PG is permission granted. And I am also opening up here. Yes. And thank you very much for being with me until now. So as I told you, time is precious. Your time is valued. I value your time. So whatever you're going to get 10 times investment of time that you are making. Just opening up. Yeah. So thank you for your permission, and I'm just going to be sharing. So this is a 7-day no yelling challenge which I have designed for parents. So I'm going to take you through orientation, through introduction. Why are we actually doing this? Because anything that you are starting new, be it just waking up at 6 a.m. every day, you have to know your why. If you do not know your why, if you do not know why you're doing it, why do I have to wake up at 6 a.m.? Again, this monkey mind pushes you to sleep more. Oh, it doesn't matter, the maid has to come, there's still time for the maid to come. You can sleep for another 20 minutes, you can sleep for another 30 minutes. How many of you can resonate with these experiences? Just type out me in the chat box. Oh, there is a lot of time for the maid to come. Oh, there is a lot of time for the maybe for me to start breakfast, start cooking breakfast. There's a lot of time for the child to wake up. I can sleep another 10 minutes, and the 10 minutes will become 40 minutes. Yes, thank you very much for your responses. So that is what I'm just giving you whatever it is that you are. I'm just telling you whatever it is that you are doing. You should have your why. And we're going to understand not just why but everything around it, like what is it and why we are doing, what is it that you will be getting, and what is the benefit and all. And then the first day is you'll be knowing what happens when you yell. So when you are yelling, yes, yelling is yelling, because again, yeah, let me again ask a question from you. So we've spoken about emotions, and from emotions we are at yelling now. So do you all agree that emotions, some kind of low emotions, lead towards irritation, frustration and yelling? If you agree, just type out AG in the chat box. If you do not agree with that, then the transition from emotion to yelling doesn't make sense. Yes? So the low emotion is what is giving you irritation or frustration or disappointment or overwhelmed or just some kind of fighting back with something that's happening around you. Yes, thank you very much for your responses, for your beautiful responses. So that, and in a parenting context, it leads towards responding in a high pitch, or responding irritatedly, or responding in some kind of negative frequency of vibration, or low frequency vibration. Yes, and that is the reason there we had to transit from emotions to yelling. So we have to understand, even before you can bring awareness in why should I stop yelling, you have to understand what happens when I yell, what happens if I yell, what happens with this reaction. Oh, it's so common, I've been yelled when I was a child, so what much of a difference? I'm good now, I have a job, I have a good paying job, I have a good family and all, so like life is settled, like what happens? So you have to understand what happened, we have to understand what is happening, and we have to understand what happens in future if we continue to be this way. Yes, so we need to have that clarity. Before doing anything, we need to have clarity. And day 2 is understanding your emotions. Yes, as I told you, we have to bring awareness in our emotions. So again, let me tell you this. So maybe you are in the kitchen. Yes, you are in the kitchen and you're doing something. Maybe guests are coming, or maybe you've just returned from outside and you were stuck in traffic, or maybe you just got out from an office call and it was very tiring for you. Whatever has happened, and now you are in the kitchen, and at that point of time, your child has come to you and asked you for something, and you have a certain reaction which has stemmed up from irritation. Done is done, you've done that, whatever has happened, but the point is this: do you know what what emotion actually made you react that way? I don't say yell or whatever it is, you know what you did, right? You may not agree with what the terms that I am using, but the point is you have to become aware of whatever is happening with you, or however you are. So was it anger which led you towards yelling, or was it helplessness which led you towards yelling? Maybe you were cooking for guests and you were just helpless, it was tiring. Was it that which made you yell? Or was it overwhelmed office work which made you yell? Or was it just traffic frustration which made you yell? Yes, understanding your emotions. What is it that made me do this? What is that one emotion that pushed me to react in this way, in this specific way? Is something that you got to get awareness on when you go into the day 2 section. So if you are with me until now, just type out D2 in the chat box. D2. Just type out D2 in the chat box. Yeah, day 2. Yeah, D2. That's okay. Thank you for that. So because I keep, I mean, I keep looking at responses in the chat box, because in a way it reaffirms me on that I'm not just talking to camera here, but I'm actually talking to people out there. So when you're responding to me, it kind of elevates my energy that yes, I can go forward, I can add some more value, I can keep talking or something like that, right? There is an exchange of emotions also that happen when we are speaking. And then, what is the gap that made you yell? Yes, thank you very much for all your responses. So as I told you, along with an external trigger, there was an internal trigger inside of you. So the same thing happens maybe on the road, there is an accident, not accident, maybe some kind of conflict happened. The same thing happens, there are two people here. One person had responded in a negative way and the other person just didn't bother. That's because this person who has responded in a negative way had an internal trigger inside of him. The external trigger was same for both the people. The outside situation was same for both the people. But one of the persons here had an internal trigger. Yes, maybe the child is doing something, one parent reacts in a certain way, the other parent reacts in another way, maybe the grandmother reacts in a certain way, grandfather reacts in a certain way, the sister-in-law reacts in a certain way. Each one reacts based on what internal trigger they have. And that is actually coming from the gap that they are carrying, the hurts that they are carrying. So you have to understand what is the internal trigger, what is the gap that is created inside of you that made you yell. Yeah, thank you very much, Smita. I am just glad that I can add value to your the time that you are investing. And then, so how can you actually start connecting and stop yelling? Again, this connect word, connect with your child. You might have already also be seeing on various social media channels. Connect with your child, connect with it. But how does connection actually happen? Even when I started, yes, I am trying to connect with my child, I am trying to be patient, I am trying to stay calm, is what I heard from parents. But going deep into it, working much closer with these parents is what made me, I mean, it just turned on the bulb inside of me that connection has whole different parameters in it. It is not just about going there and staying calm and going there and staying patient for the child to come to the meal table, but how do you connect with your child? Yes, and then that will actually help to stop yelling. Because why do I say this? Because this is again a very common thing that I hear is, I have told her very calmly, I'm trying to be calm, I'm trying to be patient. I tell her very gently that okay, you have to wash your hands and then eat this, or you have to, after waking up, you have to brush your teeth and then do whatever it is, right? I am trying to be gentle, but she doesn't do. Only when I raise my voice, my child does this. Only when I shout, there is a response from her. Do you agree? If you resonate with me, just type out R in the chat box. Yes, all these are real life stories. Yes, thank you very much. So somehow we have, yes, thank you very much for your responses. So somehow we have associated getting a response to the yell that we are doing. So only when we yell, there is a response from the child. So in order for that to stop happening, what can we do? And then that's did the numbers go wrong? Yeah, thank you for your responses. And then day 5, day 6 and day 7 is conclusion, obviously. Day 5 is, what is the root cause of your yell? Now yes, here you've understood what the gap is, and then what is the root cause of your yell. Yes, I take you towards inner child, wounded inner child and all. If anybody of you know the concept of inner child, just type out IC in the chat box, or if you do not know, just type out not in the chat box. If you do not know, just type out not in the chat box. If you know, just type out IC in the chat box. Yes. So not an issue, nothing to worry about it. So we all have an inner child, and there are wounds in that inner child, and so the root cause actually boils down to the hurts that you've been carrying, the wounds that you've been carrying, and how you can start healing, start forgiving and all that stuff. Yeah, so thank you for your responses, and we'll touch upon that concept on day 5. And day 6 is what helps you stay calm during the storm. It's like when the child is actually going through tantrums, what can come to your rescue? Because again, yelling will help. Only when I yell can I bring peace in that situation is a misconception that the parent carries, that you carry, that only when I yell my child stops crying, only when I yell things get sorted. Yes, but I mean, it seems to us on the physical world that the things are sorted, but something else is happening in the child's emotional world, something else is happening in the child's mental world, something else is happening in the child's spiritual world. Yes, there are various layers, not just the physical layer. Again, coming from a spiritual background, I'm going to touch upon all these concepts in my coaching, whatever I'm doing. Whereas the life is not just about the physical life that we have, but various layers that we have, that various layers of existence of our body. And then yes, conclusion and action steps. I'm going to give you a set of action steps and how we can take this forward. So yes, how we were treated. Yes, Suma, in a child, right? Yes, that's the answer. And it is not just from the immediate family members, but even from the society and the false program that happens, not just from the society, but even by your own self. Even at this moment, you are falsely programming your subconscious, and I'm going to give you examples, all real life examples which you can very well connect with. Yeah, I just put a message in the group. Yeah, I hope all of us are here. Yeah, so yeah, even we ourselves, you yourself, you're still in that mode of falsely programming yourself. So how can that stop, and when can that stop, and all of that stuff. So going back here. Yeah, so if this is the journey for you for 7 days, again, would you be interested? Just type out I in the chat box if you are interested. Just type out I in the chat box if you are interested for this 7-day journey. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, actually I've been with you even in the previous session and even in this session, but I've never introduced you. So I'm not going to go deep into my introduction in this session. I'll anyways do in that 7-day session. But yeah, I am an intuitive parenting coach, and along with Harika, we have set up this series of 7 sessions for a very, very minimal cost. And why is there a cost? Because I've learned this from my mentor, people who pay attention, people who pay attention take action, and people who take action get the results. So even I've been doing various kinds of sessions, free sessions, paid sessions, mixed sessions, and all of that. But when I look at who are the people who take action, who get results, they're the people who give value to, there is a value exchange that is happening, right? So who are contributing to that value exchange, they take action and they get the result, because you are honoring the value that you are receiving. In a way, it's just that there is an energy exchange, there is a value exchange, and you are honoring whatever it is that you are receiving. And don't worry, it's a very, very minimal cost. It's just 199. And there are many other bonus also which you're going to be getting. So with your permission, again, I'm going to be explaining what is it that you will be getting as a part of the bonus modules, not just these 7-day sessions, but a lot more. I'm just again sharing the screen here. So if anybody is willing to pay, I just put the payment link also here. There is a bonus session. Yeah, so you will have Know Your Inner Self worksheet, through which you will again, this is the first step to actually understand your inner child, inner self. And I've written down, you can see here, like whatever zone that you are operating from, that is what you are passing down to your child. And even if you're not understanding all of this at this point of time, just don't worry. I'm going to give you many examples. I'm going to be explaining. Yeah, thank you, Chaitanya, for that. So I'm going to be explaining all of this and how you can actually come out of that negative zone when you are around your child. Yes, and yeah, the next one is a guide through which you can again, you will understand what is obedience is, and this is a guide which will help you make things help you empower your child to become responsible of whatever it is that your child needs to do at that point of time. It is not about parenting tips, it is not about parenting tricks or techniques and all of that stuff. It is about following a set of values, following a set of principles which will eventually not just help you but also empower your child to live a purposeful life, to live a valuable life. And then the next one is the daily checklist, which I have for the, again, I have an inner circle community. So we do have our own daily practices, and this is, again, I've created a daily guide which will actually help you to, yeah, what I'm saying is success or failure of any person boils down to what you are doing on a daily basis consistently. If you are doing on a daily basis some kind of daily ritual, some kind of self-esteem boosting daily rituals, that is what will show up even when you are parenting. Yes, so yes, I think these are the bonuses. Yes, so you can get this. So yeah, I'm also a Jack Canfield certified trainer and a Blair Singer certified trainer, so that's all apart. So if you are interested to make a payment and get into this 7-day no yelling challenge, I'll just put a payment link in the chat box here, and I will, yeah, you can make a payment, and we'll just get this started right after the festival season, if that's okay with you. And anything else, any questions that you want to ask, anything that you want to add, any doubts, any clarifications, please let me know. I think I have not pasted correctly. Yeah, somebody.
Those sessions, what will be happening 7 days, what day would that be? Because I'm having a training session on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday and Friday. I'm doing the Montessori elementary training for them. So that's
Yeah,
my
and
Yeah,
also the timings.
yeah,
yeah.
timings and the date would be crucial. Otherwise, in case I cannot attend the live session, if I can get a recording of it also, I'll be okay to join the session.
Yes. So live is always helpful because there is an exchange of energies, and there is recording also will be available. So yeah, because we are in a group already and I'm explaining to you in a group, I just thought we'll get a time suitable for all of us. So does early morning work out for you, all of you? You can just type out, say a yes or no. Like, is 6 a.m. okay for you? Because you just get that done, and then you can start off with your course. Okay, I got a yes from Chaitanya.
Yes, so yeah, 6 a.m. and any day is okay, fine.
Yeah. Because what happens is a 7-day series, right? If we are doing just one class per week, then we'll just forget about it. So how many of you actually forgot what I spoke to you last week? It happens because only when we are in touch with whatever we have learned, we can take it forward. So it's good if you do not give break of 1 week when we are doing it as a series of classes. Yeah, Smita. Yeah.
6. So basically from around 10:30 to 4-5 in the evening, my son is not at home, and that is the best time for me. But if 6 in the morning works for everybody else, I think I can try and manage. If he wakes up, yeah, he'll not let me sit on the car in front of
Okay.
the computer. That's the problem.
Okay. So Soma has suggested evening 8. I think